back to our flywheel. Remember how far your flywheel comes off before you put it back on. Essentially, I can remember that because there's all kinds of crud built up here where it didn't go all the way flush. This flywheel was never on the crankshaft all the way, at least not when I got the tractor. I put the bolt in the crankshaft over here and I tapped it a little bit and I brought the crankshaft this way where the main bearings, the thrust side of the main bearings will be pushed up against there, and then that way it cranks over as far as it'll go, and the flywheel's on as far as it'll go as well. You can look down here in the indexing mark that goes into that little collar is flush. Now this is what I call Captain Obvious, so apply this to just about everything on the tractor. The way it looks like it's supposed to go is more than likely the way it goes. It's what I call Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious number one: lock washers always go on nuts. They never go on bolts. They always go on the nuts, if that makes any sense to you. There is no washer on here. Instead, there's a collar on the flywheel. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to put this bolt in here and let you observe Captain Obvious. Here's another Captain Obvious. When the bolt goes in there, it holds it in place on your pedestal. It's much like the same thing. Your bolt, let me get a flashlight. The bolt has a little edge, or the flywheel has a little edge where the bolt goes, and it keeps the bolt from spinning. This is why I did the little tight loosey thing on these bolts, because when I put them through there, that way I can get the lock washer and the bolt on and snugged up against there, so I'm not working an 1/8 of a turn at a time with a gigantic 1.25 inch wrench. So essentially it's a help is what it is. And I can't spin that on there. I'm going to have 2 hands to get that nut on there. But you understand what I'm talking about. That bolt right there slides into that collar. There isn't a collar on the other side. Now if you look at the other bolt, it's exactly the opposite. So one goes in one way, one goes in the other way. Captain Obvious.